thumbs up. Okay, we'll take it. We'll take it. Thank you.
Well, since
Thank
I
you.
don't know you, Lee, before I even go into my gems, do you want to introduce yourself?
I'm an Idaho science coach. I'm working Region 2, so I'm in Pacific time. I tried, my time of joining was initially like 4:33 my time. And so I was 3 minutes late, and that's because I just barely got home from being in Orfino. And um, in the meantime, I've been like starting the fire and starting the generator and doing the things. And so I'm here.
You're good.
We're so happy you're here.
And I don't know. I'm not sure if it's a perfect fit for what I need, but it might be. And so I'm looking forward to learning more.
Well, we can always.
I'm happy that you're willing to share. So I don't know.
We're here to muck around and find out about all this stuff. We don't know. We're not the ex. We just, trying to build a greater voice amongst all of us so that we could learn from each other.
Well, that sounds great. So anyway,
I'm glad you're here. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So carry on with whatever you have in mind, and I'll listen and watch. That's what I came to do.
I like it. And if you, as I do something, have like a thought that pops in, I can try to like she said, muck around and find out and build something for you too. Okay. Just to play. Kind of fun. I don't know if you've seen my bio or who I am, but I'm Jessica Johnson. I teach computer science, and I just love nerdy things like this. So the way gems work is you can create one that's basically your own custom AI that will give you advice on just what you want instead of everything. So I have two right now that I've made. The APA Style Assistant, pretty much anybody can use. It will just look at your paper and tell you if your APA formatting is incorrect I've trained it to not edit the paper because I don't want students to go get the answer and have their paper rewritten for them. So I will show you the back end of that one first. I stole most of this verbiage from one that my professor at University of Idaho created. Yeah, they created it, I think, on ChatGPT, and I obviously don't want to give our school district students ChatGPT. I want them in Gemini. So I pilfered a lot of their verbiage and put it in here, telling it what it is, the directives I want it to do, avoid giving them MLA, because if you don't say that and they just put it into the LLM by itself, a lot of the time it starts to give them these other ones. This is the most used one. You can upload the file right here too. If you have, I actually have the whole APA book right now because of the college I'm in, so I uploaded it so that it gave specifically 7th gen. Gemini actually doesn't like that though. They tell you it's copyrighted. Learn that the hard way. You can put anything in here too, like tell it to give them advice like a pirate or just goofy things, like whatever you want in it. That's that one that I have.
Can you repeat what you said was copywritten?
I have the actual APA style book because I need it for a class right now. And so when I try to put that in there, it said it's copyrighted.
Interesting.
Yeah, so you can use it, and you can, in there, once it says it's copyrighted, you can tell it that you can use it for fair use and why you're using it. But if you just take like a textbook that you have in your class and put it up there,
right,
it'll prompt you and be like, hey, this is copyrighted. Do you have the permission to use it? And why do you, or how do you have the permission?
That's nice. It does that.
Mm-hmm. Because I asked it to, like, I use SkillStruct a lot, and I was like, can I put the answer keys from SkillStruct in here? And it's like, no, they're copyrighted, but we can look at them and make something similar or use it as a guide, but it can't directly have those answers. So that's what this one came from, is having like 30 kids in there, all having an issue with Python and skill struct specifically. Oh, God. Grader flags things that really aren't an issue. It's just their grader or a slight syntax error. So I trained this one to be a coach, to, if they put in their error in there and their code, it will tell them where to start looking, but it will never give them the direct answer, because I want them to learn how to read their own code. Sorry, my dog is going to squeak. So you break it down into everything. This one's tone of behavior, how I want them to act. I say it's educational because it is going to be talking to students. That is semi-important. I learned from one of the GEG Iowa people. If you leave that out and the student starts talking to it like sarcastically, Gemini will respond that way as well. But there's a gray area on whether we should allow the AI to talk to the kids that way. So if you put educational, it won't.
That is interesting.
That's what I thought too. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, it makes sense because we don't want it saying certain things. And then I tell it what I want it to do. And I mean, break down anything and everything you can break down, the more, the better. So identify a likely cause, but I don't directly have it give it an answer. It'll tell them common errors, where they are, give them a little bit of examples, explain what Python expected based on what they put in there. So, hey, Python expected this code to make a star and you were trying to make a circle. It's going to be like your code reads XYZ. Neutral examples, just that whole idea of not giving them an answer. This is hints based off of that skill struct stuff I was talking about. And then this is just in general common errors. Safeguards. Do not give them a fixed version. Do not assume it's intended behavior. Basically, I want them to go figure it out. All of that. And it just continues. Like, this is what, hey, I want them to give you the error, what I want you to continue to do. This one I ended up sharing actually in the district computer science meeting. A lot of the teachers in other schools only teach like one class period of it and they didn't come from the field like I did. And so they're struggling in this as well and getting to all the students. And so I shared this, and a couple of the other teachers were super excited because it can help the teacher as well in that sense, and let them just.
Oh, I would be curious about that.
More.
How are you?
How am I?
Maybe no, it's not the time to ask this question,
No.
maybe in particular, but just to plant a seed of thinking about how we might be sharing those prompts over time and curate them.
Yeah,
curating them.
That's one of the other things that I have kind of that I'll show you, that I was going to show just to everybody. I actually got this one. I don't remember if this is from Serena at Boise State from University of Idaho, but this particular prompt library, which I can put it in chat too, I preloaded it.
Yeah, that's nice.
And I will change some of the words just depending on what I want. And even better for ChatGPT, though, you can put into Gemini as a gem as well. But there's a bunch of other prompt libraries as well. You can find a bunch of them, but this one is just really extensive.
Yeah, that's nice. Oh, thank you for sharing that. That's great.
And then I'm going to put one just so everybody knows as well. I'll show you where I'm going to put another prompt library that I have. That's what I want. I just need to actually edit this. This is my plan for over the break. This other ed tech stuff, I'm going to put the other couple prompt libraries I know in these links as well, of all the different ed tech things that I like or know about. So anybody can ever go find what they need or want will be in here on the GEG site. I think think those are the most. You can also look for gems that other people have already. Just when I hit the explore gems, and you can find tons of them. I think that there's a way to see even more, but because there was. Oh yeah, these are all just the different categories. That there's a bunch that already exist. So writing editor. It'll edit your writing. More. Help you brainstorm ideas, but not give you the end idea.
I think I tried one of the story ones, something storyboard, something story there was storybook.
Yeah.
That one was relatively new. Now there's so many new ones. Wow.
There's so many of them that a ton of them. The thing that I liked, I believe you showed Notebook LM yesterday. I love it because we're giving it just our sources. But from everything I've seen, the kids can still access the sources and see them here. Like they're never going to get the direct answer, even though I fed this gem the answers. The kids are never going to see it because I've trained it not to give it to them, which is like the other side of the Notebook LM that probably exists as well that I just haven't found yet. But then this is easy to share district wide, and no one's going to mess it up because they can't get in the back end unless I let them. Just edit. That's my fun. And you can ask it to, like Gemini right here, be like, I want to create a gem, and it ask it what you want to do, and it will start giving you prompts and things to think about to put in the back end of your gem.
We were working on this the other day in IT and making sure that we can unblock gems for students, but then not have them access a new chat. So we're working on that, which I think is a good idea.
Is Gemini blocked in general for them?
It's not supposed to be for them. No, for elementary, yes.
Okay, which makes sense.
It should be open for 7th through 12th. That feels appropriate.
That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. I don't know what grade level you work with out there. I would wonder. But we'll talk about that later. Okay, I'll be quiet.
No, you're good. Did you want me to try to like make something crazy, Lee? I don't know. What else you guys want to see?
I think that I am. I don't even know what I don't know, and so I am not in a good position for asking any questions. I mean, I'm just trying to sort of assimilate what you're saying to me.
See what all
And
there
so
is.
when you said you were going to do gems or Notebook LM, my sense of even the basics on that is very low. So I think maybe my first step should be like to educate myself with like some sort of basic YouTube video and at least get my bearings on what these things are, like
Yeah, I can
Google
talk to you about some of them
slides like
too.
a champ. I can Google Doc all over the place, but and Gmail and like the basics, but I don't know Notebook LM and I don't know much about Gemini other than I am sometimes irritated by Gemini because it intrudes in my world and behaves in new ways that I'm not used to, so that I go, why are you here? Get off of my
Definitely.
And so I don't know how I feel about Gemini. I have not moved it to a place of incredible usefulness by any stretch of the imagination.
And I had that same conversation yesterday. Someone's like, well, what's the ethical on it? And do we like it? Like, yes and no. To me, I equate it to when we were younger and we were Googling everything. It's the same concept. They're just chatting instead of Googling it.
Yeah. And so I don't know, it seems sort of like if what I'm intending to do is Google something, I don't always like to, I didn't want to enter a conversation. I just wanted what I wanted when I wanted it, like I'm a 2-year-old.
That's pretty fair. That's pretty
Yeah.
fair.
And so when I end up in this conversation mode, I'm like, I just don't know what to do with it sometimes. And so then it's news to me that I have any control over that. And so
Yeah.
I'm like processing that. And also like this is on my phone. And so like the letters on the screen are so small that I can't see them. And
So small.
so I'm like, oh, maybe I should be on my computer instead. And so nothing I have to contribute to this meeting is worthy of anyone's attention. So
It
I
all is, because it helps to
No,
know
I
what
strongly
people know or
disagree.
don't.
This is exactly why we want to help each other 100%.
well, you say help each other, but I'm like the needy one right now. And that's
We're
fine.
totally okay with that.
Anyway, so I don't know. I mean, I think that one thing that would help me is if, because you have probably curated many videos, or maybe you have like a YouTube channel that I should go to get the basics. Like, can you point me to some resources so that I can at least know what I don't know?
I'm sure we have. So Teresa probably has a lot more. I haven't created a lot myself. I probably should. I should have recorded. I just did trainings at the school I'm at for the last 3 weeks that I should have recorded.
I feel like we have a Tech Tuesday newsletter, Lee, and I feel like I've thrown a couple in there about gems.
Okay.
And I think actually a better one that I might share with you is one that's directly from Google. And it's like 100+ ways to use Gemini or something like that. So I'm going to share that one thing with you because it's a nice visual slideshow and it gives really direct examples.
There's this guy too. One of the main guys in GEG Idaho, he has been doing a lot of videos on gems specifically. I don't know where it is on their website, but he emails me now because I'm part of his thing. And his videos are amazing. I could just find him and I will, let me pull this over here and I will find it and send you who he is.
Sorry about
Jessica,
that.
I also wonder if in Gemini, if you could show how like Canvas works with a Google Doc.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's Lee, I don't know if you've ever seen Gemini function where it opens a Google Doc right in the conversation so you can edit the document so your conversation is a little more meaningful.
No, I have not experienced that. And also like the website that you bring up every little bit here, that is the GEG or Idaho site. What is the name of that site? Like, how would I go to that site?
We put a link in the chat. Here is his.
I got it while you do the thing. Yep.
Yes. Okay. So this other guy that I was looking him up, his name is Eric Kurt, and he's part of GEG Ohio or Iowa. I don't remember. But he has his own newsletter that he
Ohio. It's official. It's Iowa, Ohio.
Okay. This guy puts out his own newsletter. Roughly, he's been doing it a couple times a week recently because he's so into gems recently. But everything on his website, there's so much. It's amazing. A lot of I've borrowed code from him a few times. That's how I got our like updates on our website. Is I borrowed a portion of his code, and then a portion of my own. But he has tutorials that are super, super simple. So I just did a quick one in here. I just told Gemini to bring up a canvas. That's what this is called over here, which is a Google Doc. And I just told it to put a rubric template in there because I didn't know what else to say right now. And it will just put it in here, and you can start editing in here, or you can tell Gemini to something else in there, change whatever you want. I don't know what this says, S, C, or E. Oh, I see what it's doing. A, B, C. If I could tell it. So I just told it, hey, I don't like the letter grades. Get rid of them. And it just got rid of all the ABCDs that were everywhere.
Yeah, it updates the document in real time.
Or you
And
can
then you
click
can
over here
share
and
that
edit
and
it
push
too.
it right out. Yes. Yep. I don't know that there's any accounts that don't have that anymore. I feel like all the
Most
levels
have
of
them.
accounts have the Canvas feature available to them.
I think so. I should have pulled this up in my personal. I just grabbed my school one because that's where I had made the gem originally.
Oh, it's great. I have asked it to write, we're working on a collaborative learning cycle right now where we need student writing and we need to build rubrics. And so we're building rubrics on spreadsheets because it seems like AI is going to do a better job of reading a rubric if it's on a spreadsheet, and we can do a better job tracking
In the
what
table.
we're asking it to do. Yeah. And so putting that rubric, then adding it here into Gemini and saying, this is our rubric. Please write me 10 separate papers to cover multiple point, giving it like the parameters. I want 40% to fall somewhere in the middle of the rubric. And I gave it,
For example. Okay.
right, for example writing. So I'm not using the student writing. And then it will literally make each individual file for you so that they show up on that left side of the screen as individual files, and you could click on each one and then they'll open so you could vet them and edit them. So that's, yeah, you can do a lot with this. Pretty crazy, actually.
Okay. So, this is going to show you the shallowness of my understanding.
No, it's okay.
Okay, so tell me the difference between GEMS and Gemini. I'm trying to
Gems.
distinguish what
Gems is a
doing
part
things.
of Gemini. Gem is I have told Gemini to do something specific and not to go outside of these parameters. So I could tailor it because Gemini normally it's a LLM. It goes and can gather anything from anywhere on the interwebs, basically.
Okay.
A gem, I'm telling it, I only want you to do these things specifically and only look at this specific data. So like in my Python one, I told it specifically, do not give them the answer. Whereas if they normally just go to Gemini and ask, it's going to give them the answer because it's going to pull from anything it can. I've told it, only pull from these, only do this.
And so what you're doing then, if I'm understanding correctly, is you're giving them access to AI in a limited way so that you can hold them accountable for showing what they know without
Yes.
just milking the system and getting it from other places. And so basically it's like a lockdown of
Basically,
their,
yeah.
okay.
And this way they can also say they only got through a fourth of their my class coding in my class and they want to do the rest at home. They have somewhere they can ask when they get stuck that's still going to help them as if they were in the class and raising their hand without going and essentially cheating somewhere.
Okay. And so how are they prevented from just going at home, from just going to Gemini and just doing it, just having it tell them the answer?
There's not, but a lot of them have used it enough in class and they want to learn how to do it versus get the answer. Um, so it's mostly honor system, but most of them will save their chat if they did and show me what it said.
Okay.
And they've been Google searching the answer anyway. Like you
Right.
can, the camera math has been around for years, and perhaps at the end of the chat, like the Gemini chat might end up giving a whole long explanation for how that math problem was solved. And then at the very end, it's going to provide the answer. So it did the right thing, but then the kid is going to go and snatch that answer from the bottom and just copy it over.
Okay. And so it's not really preventing, but it is providing a resource that is the way to approach it with learning, using learning habits rather than bypassing learning habits.
Yeah. Because
that's a great way of saying it
too. There's this book that so Serena from Boise State Morales, I think is her last name. She teaches a whole thing on AI. As a PD is where I went to it. But she talked about this book and then I went and read it, nerded out, that basically kids are going to use AI or they're going to go get help somewhere when they're frustrated. And this whole book is on a survey that they did, and these kids are basically saying in it, and all the people who were in the survey, it might be college, I think, that they just want to know how and when they can use AI because they're going to use it. And when they get frustrated and they can't solve something, they don't actually want to go Google the answer or be given the answer. They want to be taught how. And so they're actually liking these AI tools that we're making where they can go ask and get help and where they have the parameters given to them. And that's kind of the whole concept of that whole book is tell me when and how I can use it.
Well, and it kind of leads back to that whole thing, like as far as educators go, that there was a lot of fear that we would be replaced by AI, but we really will be people will be replaced by people who know how to use AI. And so we want them to learn how to use AI appropriately.
Yes.
So, okay. Well, so what if I was going to do a Google search to get to the Idaho GEG website, what should I search? Or what is that? I know you can put it in the chat, but as soon as you put it in the chat, then you put something else on the screen and I can't see the chat and what
you can also email it to
at
you
the same time.
Yeah, I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to email it directly to you.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I was looking at the back of the website that we have, and right now I don't think it would Google search very well unless I do some SEO, like or
Teresa. Yes, it needs. Yep, correct.
Yeah, that is true because I tried it several different ways and couldn't figure out how to do it.
It didn't probably well. There was a good conversation I had with a history teacher this week too, because his question to me is like, well, where do you stand ethically on AI and kids using it? And it's not everybody's favorite answer, but my answer is like, well, it's here to stay. And so we've got to figure out how to use it and teach them how to use it. And my biggest thing that I tell every teacher and almost every kid at first when I talk about it is ask AI where it got its information. The same as we've been teaching them with Google searching and with books is determining whether it's a good source or not. And AI will tell you every single time where it got it. And then you can just assess whether it's a good source or not.
Right. So, and credibility is, that's part of learning to be a reader and writer in our world is you've got to consider your sources. So, okay. Well, I still, okay. So my understanding of what is a gem a singular thing, or is when you put an S on it, is that because it is plural, or when you put an S on it, is that because it is part of an acronym that ends with an S word?
So both of these being right here.
That was a
this
great question.
Yeah, this APA and this Python are gems because there's two of them, but they are not related other than the fact that I have tailored each of them to do something specific. So a gem is, it does something specific.
So a gem, so what does gem stand for? Or is it just like a diminutive of Gemini?
It's just whatever Gemini or Google decided to call it. It's just the name that they came up with.
So it's not an acronym.
Nope.
Okay. Good to know.
Just
Do you remember when Jessica was sharing all of those little nitty gritty directions that she was typing in the gem?
Yeah.
qualities.
That's the power of what the gem is capable of. It takes all the things Gemini has that it's capable of, but then she's putting those boundaries and those parameters on it and saying, when you're functioning in this space, in this gem, this is all that you can do. These are my directions, and this is how I want you to behave. These are the outputs I want you to give the kids. And so you can even, I think she might have even linked sources and stuff in there, but you can add lots, like those are real beefy directions. You want really beefy, good directions. And so that other prompt site, that's a good space to find prompts like these. And I'm gonna look and see if Google also just has something for gems already.
Would it be possible to send that to me by email?
Which the prompt library
site?
Yeah, I can send you the prompt library.
Is that something that you've been doing? Is that a resource that you found?
This is one that the college told me about. Okay. I have debated on starting to make my own prompt library, but I think for right now, I'm going to focus at least on the GEG site, and I know tons of ed tech tools, and so I'm going to work on putting all the ones that I know on there and a little bit of like what they're good and used for, so that as people want something, you know, they can go there and look and like, oh, I want a game. Cool, there's 5 different game websites that I can use, different things like that before I work on a prompt library.
Okay.
I might share a few of mine, like that Python one, quite a few people in the district like. But also on our GEG site, we do have.
And that's a great idea for a page too, or something in the corner there. That's great.
Yeah. So I've got here, which I'll put all my ed tech tools that I was talking about, all the different sites and things I know. But on our GEG Idaho site, I keep this updated weekly. I have AI tell me the new updates and compile them for me because it's hard otherwise. And we have it broken down on the left by topic and on the right by date. So if you want to come in here and look specifically at AI tools, you can come click the Gemini AI tools drop down. And it's got a sentence on what the update is and then a resource link. So it'll go back to, hey, there's a broken link. It'll go back to Google's published thing on what the update was. So you can go look and see, this is what Gemini says or Google says about this new update they just gave us. And any new update goes in here weekly by date or by topic. So you can search by whatever you want.
Okay.
And there's tons. I mean, there's things on Gmail, there's things on Google Meet, every part of Google Workspace.
Yeah, I'm going to update the highlighted ones up there at the top. There's a few other updates that everybody should know about.
New,
really and then, quick Lee, I'm also going to add in there, and I'll send you an email. There is a link. You would have to click it and then sign up, but then Google will send you once a week. It's very brief. It's like 15 minutes. It sends you a little video and a short lesson about some topic that they're focused on. So like I got one for Google Classroom. It's so nice.
Put that under this tips and tutorials too.
100%. Yes. I shared it somewhere and I've just not been able to find exactly where I've shared exactly that link to sign up for it. Because, you know, the Google Help Desk documents, once you start going in there and clicking around, I get a little
Oh, yeah.
lost.
You're like, where
And
am I?
so, yeah, which rabbit
about it.
hole did I go to? I just went down 4 rabbit holes trying to just find that again now. And I'm like, I haven't even seen these and I'm whatever. So I will find it again and then share that one because that's a really good one too. But I will update those top ones and some of our resources too.
Okay. Perfect. Oh, right there. Yeah.
This is good. See, this is what we want. We want to engage in conversation about it. That's the most important thing. And figuring out where we're at, right? If some of us are using it all the time and we're using it in a computer science way and others of us are just dipping our toe in and figuring it out, I think that's the whole point of the group, is to be here to support each other. And you know, you're going to come at it, Lee, with fresh eyes in 2025 that maybe when I first started seeing it 2 or 3 years ago, or Jessica first started seeing it, it's not the same. And so you're going to bring a whole new perspective to everything. And that's kind of important, I think.
Well, and I come from a perspective of like in the field, so I don't come at it from
Yes.
education. And sometimes, just like the history teacher was asking, like, oh, well, how does this actually necessarily work with kids? And I have to think about that because it's not the world I've been in.
Yeah. 100%.
So as a science coach, I am actually working more with the adults who work with the kids, right? I'm the teacher of the teachers. And so as I and that might worry you because it's like, well, she doesn't know squat. So but I am I am so I'm the teacher of science teachers and K-12. And so that's a pretty broad there's the needs of kindergarten are not the needs of high school. They are
Yeah.
Not even close.
and,
You were kindergarten, weren't you, Teresa?
Yes.
and so I'm looking at these tools as a means to an end. Like this is not my clients are not caring so much about teaching computer science as they are caring about teaching. They want to teach data analysis with with Google tools. So like I know that I could use Google Sheets in more productive ways, but I don't know all the ways.
I like that. That's a great conversation we could have. I mean, if you're okay with planning that for December's, I think that would be awesome. I agree. There's tons of use case for that.
And I don't even really understand what Notebook LM is. And maybe it has a huge application, like maybe that's like a science notebook.
Oh my goodness,
on
yes.
We can
steroids.
make
Yes, there's some links there, Jessica. They're linked on the GEG website.
Yeah, but I also have a few like the sugar one.
Yes, the sugar one. That was a huge one. Oh my goodness, that was a huge project, Lee.
So Notebook LM's cool because you put in the sources you want it to pull from. So where Gemini will go basically do a Google search for you, Notebook LM, you feed it the sources you want it to use. So your science textbook, your science curriculum, whatever you have, you put it in over here. This one has a ton, obviously.
Those are all student transcripts from recorded meets, but it's all de-identified through Gemini. So it's not real anymore. We took the real transcripts and then we changed them to be fake. And so that's what all of those are, so that we could share this with people. But they're from science conversations that students actually had. So that's why there's so many of them, because it's all those groups that a teacher had in one day.
And then Oh, I don't think I can. I can't actually do things in the studio on this one, so it's not my
Not on
notebook.
a public, yeah, not on a public one.
So
Or
when you're
that's
creating
not,
this
yeah, you know, yes.
studio, I can show you the studio in a different one, but you could add a bunch of these things that are over here. This is a public one where they have already created the things and I can't edit it because obviously it's not mine. I don't own this one. But
Okay,
in one,
so I'm sorry, I know. How did you navigate to where you are right now? Like, how did you get there?
I went to Notebook LM. I just Google Notebook LM and you can say getting started.
Okay.
So
Sorry.
I have a lot of notebooks created. You would probably only have this create new notebook,
Mhm.
which we can pretend we're creating a new one. I'm totally. It opens like this and it wants you to pick a source. Hey, here's my really poor paper I just did. We'll put that as my source. And so now I could tell it to pull, I could start typing and talk to it. It automatically summarizes your sources for you when you put them in there.
Okay.
I could talk to it here and tell it to do a video overview of that paper or an audio overview. I don't like their mind maps. I'm gonna pretend it doesn't exist
Okay.
because I really, oh,
I know, you can't do anything with them. It drives me crazy.
they're
Yes,
worthless.
they're
You can
trapped in a
just
space.
And so,
blanketly, yeah, go ahead.
okay, so mind maps brings up something. So
They all do.
can they draw? But no, I mean the topic mind maps makes me
Mhm.
think of something that is not.
It's
I'm not Googling it. I am saying like, so for instance, I'm an instructor for thinking maps, and
mhm.
I might want them to do like some sort of graphic organization. Can it is that is that a thing that they can do? But they have to use mind maps and we don't like them, or is there some other way?
You'd probably have to use a different program. The mind map that Notebook LM creates, it's just really poor. It doesn't, because I love a graphic organizer. Like I come from the graphic design world. I love infographics. This
Right.
is what their mind map is. It's really poor. It just doesn't, it's not useful. And I don't think it actually adds anything for a student to actually understand anything.
Okay.
And that is just a
Well,
place that
and it
Notebook
doesn't go
LM needs to
anywhere.
improve. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just,
because when you go to download it, it will just download as an image, and
and they all
it's
stack on
static.
top of each other.
Yes, you can't interact with it when you download it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just something Notebook LM needs to improve. It just failed there.
Agreed. Yep.
But you can click all these things in the right side that's studio and have it do these different things. So just blanket, you don't know how to do a prompt or anything. You can click flashcards and it's just going to give you an average amount of flashcards. But if you click all these little pencils on these things, you can start to tell it what you want it to do. So you could literally in here, in these flashcards, I want these at a third grade level, whatever. I don't know.
Okay.
You could tell it how many you want. I want 8 flashcards. Do I want them easy, medium, hard? It's going to base it off of this. So like, I'm probably not going to touch that. More, fewer, I've told it exactly how many I want. I believe it can do pictures, use images, and words.
Okay, so if I were thinking, I want to create a professional development notebook. And I
Oh,
said,
so good for that. So
It's
good.
amazing.
okay, and this is our book study.
Mhm.
And
So
this is
good.
okay. And so if I were to do that, for instance, if I looked at it and I said, okay, so our book study is the Writing Revolution 2.0, which is clearly a copyrighted piece of work, but also they have like the writingrevolution.org, which is open.
Mhm.
And if I said, and we're using Open SciEd, which is open source.
Yep.
And this is a cross-curricular project. I want art. I want the participants to help their kids create infographics. And so now I'm like looking for, okay, so tell me about the Notebook LM. This is not what you wanted to talk about today, though.
I'm good with talking about both. They both kind of intermingle.
Okay, so if I said I would like the teachers to be able to share, I have a cross-curricular project group. It's based in science because their facilitator and their funding is coming out of science. But they're going to also, everyone is a writing teacher, right? All the teachers in all of the secondary school are writing teachers. We're all writing teachers. Everybody has to be a writing teacher.
Yeah, it's integrated.
It's like the handoff method, though, because they're not set up to all be in the same room, right? It's like in science, we learned how to do this.
Right.
Now, in math, we're going to take the data sets that were created when we did this investigation, and we're going to talk about how those are parabolas, and we're going to see the application, and you're giving context to the x squared equals blah blah blah.
Yep.
And so then in ELA, we're going to write down the procedures that we did in order to do this physics assignment. And in math, we are doing the math, and in art, we're creating an infographic that shows our findings.
Mhm.
Does this make sense?
That's pretty slick. Yeah, that's quite the project.
And so is this something is a Notebook LM like a shared document that they all are contributing to, or they all have their own? And
you can set it up so that they're all in one. So I just kind of quickly paraphrase some of what you're saying. This notebook right here is actually from a textbook that is copyrighted, but I had permission to use it. It is actually my curriculum and instruction course for my graduate level class right now. So I just told it in here, hey, give me an infographic on how to make this content cross-curricular for science and writing. And it is breaking down, okay, here's what you'll do in science. You're going to pinpoint the issue. In writing, you're going to make these forms. So you can have it break down like that, and save all that over here so that everybody can access it and keep it forever. I had this one create a lot of stuff already.
Well, and Lee, I did just send you another email because I did a presentation last night and recorded it to YouTube for Notebook LM.
Oh, okay. Thank
you.
you.
So it's about 20 minutes. There's a few little interruptions in there, but for the most part, it walks you through. Like, this is on the left side. This is what the middle's for. This is this part. So it shows each of the parts. And I have to stop recording. And if you guys want to carry on, you are absolutely more than welcome, but I have to head out.
Okay. Well, I think that you've given me